But then that leads you to ask the question, once again, as we saw Rome emerge earlier in the season, who is wide receiver 1?
It's a great question. And the answer is very different today as we head into the final week of the regular season than it was at the start of the season, by almost flipping on its head, because Luther Burden III wasn't available then, but he's definitely wide receiver 1 now.
Well, and then the next question is not only who is wide receiver 1, but moving forward in this offense as we're seeing it develop, who should be?
Answer hasn't changed. It's Luther Burden III. Let me point you to a very specific category, okay? Both Luther Burden III and Rome Odunze have 44 catches this season. The yards after the catch go Rome Odunze 214, Luther Burden III 307. What he's able to do with the ball in his hands once it gets there, that is almost a bigger story than the fact that he's had, one drop so far this season, maybe 2 drops all season long. He is electric with the ball in his hands. Rome Odunze is good. I'm not saying he's not good. But Luther Burden III is a steal in the second round. And I can't believe I'm saying this now, because I remember how I felt when I saw them draft Luther Burden III. I was like, what is going on? They have receivers. They need other stuff. They need someone to, I don't know, get to the quarterback. That hasn't changed. But I can't deny what Luther Burden III has become in Ben Johnson's offense in his first season as a professional.
You got a rankings? Don't you have a rankings of guys?
Oh, I do. Yes.
Yeah, let me hear
so
your
it's
rankings.
It's Luther Burden III. It's DJ Moore.
Okay, that's who's DJ Moore? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we doing all pass catchers or just receivers?
Wait, but what about your answer to the question?
Like, who is the top?
Who's receiver number 1?
I still go
who
DJ.
should be?
DJ Moore. I still go DJ Moore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me why you think that.
I still think he's the most clutch receiver on the team. He's the smartest receiver on the team. What he can do when he gets in space is pretty good too. And I know Luther, great stuff on Luther Burden. He's been terrific at that. I just think that as a complete receiver, I still think DJ Moore is the best. And I know it's easy to say that because he just made a spectacular play in the last couple of games. So it's like I get that, but I think from the beginning, it's DJ Moore for me, number 1. Then I would probably go Luther Burden, then Rome, then Loveland. Or do I go Loveland over Rome?
See, that's why I asked the question about is this pass catcher or receiver?
That's why I wanted to ask who's number 1, and then we get into rankings.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking.
Who's your number 1?
I think the number 1 for me also should be DJ Moore. And it's not just because he's getting paid the most, although that does kind of help you figure out order of importance in a core and in a position room. It's that he was not only extended for a reason, but he's shown you on multiple teams what he is able to do. And I don't think that he has to be one and others who are not as good as him in order to get those targets. I think that a lot of what we're seeing, and Dave Wanstead alluded to this in a postgame show after the Packers win, he talked about Moore being in Caleb Williams' field of vision. And he talked about how with certain times, based on defensive coverage, based on how you're flushed out of the pocket, for example, you're going to go either to your left or to your right. Caleb Williams, a lot of times when DJ Moore got more yards, was scrambling to his right, and DJ Moore was in his line of vision. So therefore, DJ Moore was the main target receiver at that time. And I think that plays into this. So I think I like the plays that were designed, especially against Cleveland, where DJ Moore's running along the backside of the play. He's running across a formation. Other things that are able to make him the more primary read on some of these plays. I think number 2 right now has to be Burden. I'm still trying to figure out what the full skill set is to be utilized for Rome Odunze. And I don't say that as a knock. I say that as a compliment. Like I know what I'm getting with Luther Burden based on what I've seen in his rookie season. I'm seeing a guy who's great out of the slot. I'm seeing somebody who is great at yak and rack. So for me, it's probably number 1 DJ, then it's number 2 Luther Burden, then it's number 3 Rome Odunze. Do I put the tight ends in this? Are you guys doing tight ends?
Yeah, they're receivers
as well?
too. Yeah, I think so.
Tight ends deserve love too?
I think so. I do.
Wait,
yeah.
love?
Oh, got a lot of love. Very good.
Oh no, what do we do now?
So where does Loveland fall into your... Does he fall directly behind DJ Moore? Is Luther Burden III above him? Where's Rome Odunze in all this? That's why it's such a great question.
I think we all... I don't know, man. Like, this might be recency bias right now. Like, and Rome is injured. Because we're all saying that Luther Burden is better than Rome Odunze. Is that just because of what's been in front of us, with Rome not playing and Luther Burden playing and playing very well? Like I said yesterday, like all of the catches that he has made seemingly in the last few games, and I know he missed the Green Bay game, they're all big catches. Like, you literally look at just about every play that he made in this last game, as a matter of fact. The 35-yard touchdown catch in the first quarter down the middle, 3rd and 10 catch for 14 yards on the final drive, 27-yard catch on 3rd and 8, the 27-yarder in the third. Like, every play that he makes is big. It's quality over quantity, seemingly, with Luther Burden a lot of the time. So, but I don't know, man. Just because Rome is hurt, like, we've forgotten about him and we've left him out to pasture, it feels like.
Well, and Ben called him his blankie. Ben Johnson said in the press conference, I know that Rome is Caleb Williams' blankie.
And Olamide Zaccheaus.
I think Olamide Zaccheaus fits for me more of the blanket. I'm not arguing with a head coach of a football team who's been as successful as Ben Johnson has, but I just remember early in the season, specifically training camp and even the first few games, Olamide Zaccheaus got a large volume of the targets, and I'm glad that has changed, because I think there are better pass catchers on this team than Olamide Zaccheaus.
He's been dropping the ball too much.
That is one of the problems, right, is the drops. But there's this stat on ProFootballReference.com. It's called receiving success rate. And here's how it's termed. A successful reception gains at least 40% of yards required on a first down, 60% of yards required on a second down, and 100% of the yards required to move the sticks on 3rd or 4th down. The denominator for this formula is targets. Based on that stat, the most successful Bear, who's not, outside of the margins, because Caleb Williams technically leaves the stat in this team because it's 100%, because he catches all the balls thrown his way, is Luther Burden III at 58.9%. Comparatively, next up is Colston Loveland at 55.1%. And the other guys we've been talking about, DJ Moore, 47.6%, and Rome Odunze, 45.6%. So you understand, like, to get 40% of the yards on a first down is like, if it's 1st and 10 or 1st and 15, because penalties were a thing early in the season, you're getting almost half of that back on first down. But the real key to that is the 3rd and 4th down. You're moving the sticks when you catch the ball. And that's something Luther Burden and Colston Loveland have been very good at all season long.
Well, yeah, they're not afraid to throw to them even short of the sticks. Like, it's that part of it for me. Like, Grote, I don't know if you noticed that too, but how many times were we frustrated by the throw to Cole Kmet on 3rd down when he's 3 yards short of the first down marker? And this is in prior coach years. Vintage. How many times were we frustrated by that? And then you see it now, and do you have the same level of panic?
It's so funny because what you're saying, Leila, you referenced just recently, that's historically, that's vintage Chicago Bears, thrown it 3 yards shy of the stick.
Status quo.
I mean, like, offensive coordinator after offensive coordinator believed in the philosophy of get it to your guy and let them make a play. No, not on 3rd down. No, man. You've got to make that a little bit more sure. What's really interesting, too, about Colston Loveland. So right now, DJ Moore leads the Bears in receiving at 671 yards. Rome Odunze, 661. Loveland at 622. It's not inconceivable that your first-round rookie ends up leading the Bears in receiving yards.
Give me those
year.
numbers one more time.
Here it is. DJ Moore, 671 yards. Rome Odunze, 661. And Colston Loveland, 622. So this would mean that DJ Moore would have to have a poor game and Loveland would have to have a good game if you like seeing something like that.
Do you know who's 5 yards behind Colston Loveland?
That would be Luther Burden III. Yes. So yeah, great call. He could end up being the leading receiver for the Bears.
Well,
that's
also,
crazy.
This is the time where you can start to compare good team offenses to other good team offenses, and this is dangerous. And I'm not new. I'm haven't been here before. I'm new to this. But like, for example, Pete, Kansas City. You know that Kelsey was going to be your moneymaker on a 3rd down. Like, you just knew that. You knew he was working over the middle. But then you also had the how did Tyreek Hill get that wide open every single week conversation. So how are you utilizing these people's skill sets? And I think that's when you start to kind of fold and mix this all in. The game will dictate it for you, but
sure.
Grote, you're right. There was a year where Cole Kmet was the leading receiver for the Bears. And that's plausible that it would come back again, especially when you see how trusted Loveland is in some of these plays. I think that that's such a valid argument to be made.
And when Cole Kmet was the leading receiver for the Bears, that was not healthy. This case, it would be healthy because that's what Colston Loveland is able to do. He comports himself often in terms of the way he runs routes as a receiver. These are the things that we talked about when the man was drafted, and it's starting to play out in front of us, as are so many things, so many development spots for the Bears.
And even to your point, Grote, earlier about how it's vintage status quo that, the Bears coach expects the playmaker to make a play once he gets the ball short of the stick on third down. Well, in a real offense, that's what playmakers do. And there's 3 guys on this Bears team, this one right now, where if they catch the ball 3 yards short of the stick, I expect them to get the first down. That would be DJ Moore, that would be Luther Burden III, and that would be Colston Loveland. Those are the 3 guys.